folks. You are listening to Liberty Unfiltered here on K98 Talk. I am your host, Steve Long, here in Edmond, Oklahoma, joined by my co-host,
Lily Dane right outside of the District of Criminals.
Ellie the Beast. So, tonight, as expected, we are going to have some fun tonight talking about Anarchy. We are going to discuss what it is not, what it is, and ultimately we're going to discuss some ways in which how can it work in today's society? Can an anarchist society work? The first question I have actually would be the word anarchy. It seems like in some circles it's almost like that word is beyond redemption.
Yeah, and there are some people who don't really want to use it anymore for that reason. I usually say I'm a voluntarist now because it doesn't have the negative connotations that anarchy has.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is this negative connotation that it has that ultimately was brought about by ignorance. Nobody bothered to learn what it actually meant. So, why don't we go ahead and start and explain what anarchy is not. First and foremost, it does not mean chaos. It doesn't mean endless riots. It's not nihilism. It's not anarchy is not like some sort of Mad Max society. And more importantly, it does not mean no rules.
Right, it just means no rulers. There's no hierarchy.
Right, and what people don't understand is there is a difference between law and legislation. Law is basically like a pattern of behavior that people adhere to based on some sort of motivation. Call it religious motivation, call it social morality. For whatever reason, they follow a certain pattern of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas legislation is a legal statute established by human beings, usually corrupt human beings. So anarchy does not mean no law.
Right. Just means we don't have an illegitimate authority, like the state, imposing those laws on us.
Right. It's about no rulers, no what I would say is illegitimate authority or illegitimate hierarchy. It's about it's a voluntary association.
Right, because any society is going to need some kind of agreed upon rules and guidelines and laws in order to get along and know what's expected.
Right, and it's certainly not some sort of utopian society.
Right. No, not at all. I mean, human beings are human, ultimately, and so there are inherent, traits that we have that aren't going to disappear just because we don't have the authority of government controlling things.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that it wouldn't be better without that authority. Meaning government.
Right. And no society really is going to be perfect. And I do want to stress that with everything that we're talking about is nothing is going to be perfect with really any type of institution or community or system of society. But really, anything is better than what we have now.
Right. I read a quote earlier that I liked that said anarchy is the worst system of society except for all the others. So, yeah, of all the options, it's probably the best one.
Yeah, right. You'd been talking earlier about a book or maybe it was an essay that you read by Stefan Molyneux.
Right. I did. It called Everyday Anarchy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I guess he had some very good ideas about. Well, I guess not necessarily what anarchy isn't, but more along the lines of what anarchy is, maybe.
Right, and he also made the point in the beginning of his essay, that the word has been tainted, so a lot of people have these negative associations with it, and they think it means, just like chaos in the streets, every man for himself. And, he explains that that's not what it is. It's actually that, we all know we really don't have the best possible way of running each other's lives. Just like no one should be telling you what your marriage should be like, or what your career should be. Any of those things in your life that you decide upon for yourself. No one else has the authority to tell you how you should run those things. So, the anarchists, though, we're expected to be able to answer every possible question regarding how an anarchistic society would work. But there's no way to really know that because of human nature.
Right. I think we might be having a bit of a technical issue here. Give me just one moment to figure this out.
Okay.